Good morning. It's Tuesday, I think. If it's not Tuesday, somebody tell me better. Somebody tell me different. I'm going to wait for some people to catch up to me. I'm going to sit here and share as usual. Same old again. It is a brand new day. We got rain in the mountains. We had thunderstorms last night. I love a good thunderstorm. And it was a beautiful thunderstorm. It wasn't too windy, so I really enjoyed it. Those big boomers and all that rain pounding on the roof. It was just a beautiful night. So let me see if I can do this real quick and get some people here. Boom. And I hope, Geraldine, thank you for joining me. We're going to have some fun. I'm a little wound up. I don't know about you, but last night it kicked in, and I have been just a wild child ever since. So, fair warning, get ready for some fun. Trying to share this out for real quick before I get rolling while we're waiting. I see too. Get ready for some fun. I have no idea what's going to come out of me today. But just to warn you, I invited Steve in today and he has been on fire. He's making me laugh. I always know it's like there's this silliness, this silly energy around me. I think some days, I really believe that hi Terry, that when we pass, he's really shown me that when we pass from this life to the next, that even though we go to this higher place, he is definitely much smarter than I am these days. Hi Sherry. He has held on to his sense of humor, and his romantic side is still there too, because oftentimes, yesterday started and again, some of the songs that just come out of nowhere. Brad started playing last night. I remember we'd had some of you girls that were in the intentions group. If you recall, I suddenly got excited because we'd been having a big storm, and I was trying to make sure I get this on someplace else. And the sun broke out in the clouds. And whenever that happens for me, I always go looking because I'm always like, well, maybe I'm going to get a rainbow. And he's usually pretty good about that. Sometimes the rainbows come in different ways. And that's important to remember that we get so set on seeing our miracles come in a certain way. And sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they have different ways. So it's all about paying attention to what ways. So last night, it's funny because I was so enthralled by the beautiful skies last night when I walked outside that I had forgotten all about the rainbow, honestly. A song came to me that was about rainbows, and I remember putting that on, and I'm listening to all this beautiful music. And I got back home last night, and I did a little dancing, and I was enjoying myself, and all of a sudden, I don't know about you guys, but I love Spotify. Spotify played a song by Brad. And the first few words in the song had rainbow in it. And I was like, there it is. There it is. There's the rainbow. It's so funny that when we pay attention, really, our loved ones are so good at finding a way to bring us those gifts that we ask for. He is especially good. And I don't know that he's any better at bringing me the things that I ask for, or if I'm just way more in tune and expecting. I'm like, okay, bring it. I'm waiting for it. And I just expect it to happen. And then it does. So I highly recommend that today. That look around if you're feeling down, or, man, it's just raining like crazy today. We are like cats and dogs. And it's going to be like this all week. This green that we've got, it comes at a price. It means that we'll have a few really beautiful sunshiny days, and then it's a rainforest again. So we're in rainforest land this week, and it's okay if you listen quietly. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just coming down in buckets, and it's a beautiful sound. So, and it's made my cat go to sleep finally. She stopped chasing me around the house, so it's good. It's lulled her off. She's a stinker. I did not sleep much at all last night. That little bugger. She was in my room. I left the door open. That was a big mistake. She kept jumping on me all night long. Are you awake? Are you awake? She's like looking, are you in there? You want to feed me again? It was quite a night. So what is going on? I labeled this the masks that we wear, and that is coming directly from Steve. I want you to know that I've been really busy working on this new talk show that's starting this week, Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's all about pulling Steve back in. He's created a miracle in my life, this man who chooses to stay so close to me even after death. And he hates the word death, so I hate to use that word. So I'm in the shower and I'm rushing to try to get ready, and I know he's with me, and I'm like, okay, bud, I know you're excited. It's like he's so giddy about this show. It's like, it's about time. I'm like, I know. We're having a conversation. We do this in the shower. I'm like, I know it took me a long time to catch up to you. I'm sorry. I know you were way ahead of me a long time ago. I'm trying to catch up. I'm still in physical form. And I had to have that conversation with him today. He's like, why are you putting on that makeup? You don't need that makeup. And I'm like, Steve, come on now. I know that you're perfect, okay? You got this perfect, glitter. And I know you only see me in spirit form. These other people are seeing me in physical form. I need to put on my mask. And that's how he always was. So I know that's the truth of him. He's always like, why do you put that on? You're beautiful. You don't need makeup. So that's what it's all about today. It's bringing that message in. What do we do to cover ourselves up, to try to put ourselves out into the public eye? How do we feel like we have to? What kind of masks do you wear? Cheryl Ann, I'm so excited too. I think it's about time that this came forth. For a long time, I think I tried to cover it up. I tried to cover up how present he is, how easily accessible he is to me, because there are so many inside of me. I'm so afraid that people will think that she's just losing it. Her cheese is slipping off her crackers. She's one peanut butter and jelly sandwich shy of a picnic, something like that. But it's so real. He's so real. And the energy that he brings to me and to so many others, it's impossible for me to sit here and say forever, I can't do it forever, that he's not actually here, because I have too many other people that come to me and experience him. So we might as well just put it out there. Let's just do it. So I feel like I've got a business partner. His name is Steve. That's how we're both kind of giddy and doing a little happy dance today, because it has taken 3.5 years for us to come to this place where we can both get out here and say, hey, you know what? There is so much life after death. And there is so much loss in the world right now. And I think that's why it's perfect timing that he's coming through and he's saying, hey, let's show these people. So it's really important. So I'm feeling very blessed this morning. Wendy, good afternoon. Good morning. Hi, Julie. Thank you for popping in. So it's all about masks and what we put on ourselves, how we present ourselves today. What do we feel like we've got to do to go out in the world? One sandwich short of a picnic, thank you. One cheeseburger short, one ant short of a picnic. I've heard it in so many different ways. Isn't it funny? You can sit there. I used to find those so funny, and I would just laugh at them. People would come up with something, and I'm like, that's hilarious. But we all just got to be us, don't we? We all just got to be us, and it's whoever said it's fun to be sane or normal. That's no fun. That's no fun. So, John, did I say hi to you? I saw you earlier. Sherry, so glad that you're here. So, we got a cute little group. Let's have some fun. What kinds of masks? What was your favorite? Let's go back into little girl, little boy world today. Let's see, he is now 22, Ty. When he was little, when it would come around to Halloween time, I remember the first real costume he had. He was just a toddler. He was cute as he could be, about 1.5 years old. And I bought him a ghosty costume. It wasn't his choice. He wasn't really old enough to choose. It was this cute little onesie, went all the way down. And if you push the button right here in the center of the chest, it made a ghost noise. And he loved that ghost noise. And he also loved that costume so much that every year, for years, thank goodness he was a skinny kid. For years, he wanted to wear that same costume. I think it was about a size, maybe 24 months, 18 to 24 months, something like that. When he was 4 or 5 years old, he could still put it on. The pant legs would go up around his knees, but he would still wear that everywhere. His favorite way of going out into the world was to go out as that little white ghosty. Did you, when you were a child, did you have a costume? Did you have a favorite princess? Did you have a favorite superhero? What did you do when you were little to put yourself out into the world that made you feel like you were more powerful, that would empower you? Because this mask that I put on every day, in a way, I know that I don't need it, but it empowers me in a way. It makes me feel a little bit more presentable to the world, a little more confident. That's still my little girl putting on her mask. And let's see, what did I like the best when I was little? My mother never really had money for real costumes. I was always just making something up. I remember one year when I was working in the daycare, I actually went as a Christmas tree. I created myself a costume of a Christmas tree because I loved Christmas so much. I was ready to skip right over Halloween. I don't do that anymore. I love Halloween. Wendy, you're right. I don't listen anymore. Guess what? Starting this Thursday night, we're listening to Steve's voice. It may sound like my voice, but that was the most important thing that I had to learn about from him, was to trust in that, to know that there was a shift. Right after he died, I would get in the car and I would start talking to him. And I would start asking him questions. I wanted to feel closer to him. I hit my bathroom floor and I wanted to spend a whole lot of time just trying to get my vibration up closer to his vibration. And there would always be a shift as I was talking to him. I would feel this, like, suddenly the answer's coming and it's so clear. It took time. I'm not going to say it's easy. He was in pain. He was not fully healed. We both needed time to be able to fully integrate with one another. And it took a long time for us to get to a place where we were more like this. For a while, every time I felt him, it would just tear me up. It was more painful. But we've both come a long ways, and so his voice is pretty clear now. And what I was saying was the most important thing that I had to learn was his voice sounded like my voice to me. It doesn't come to me. I hear that often. Last night I was hearing it again. A lot of people don't realize that they're gifted because they don't realize that these people, they're not coming to us using their same voices. They're not just walking up like in the Ghost Whisperer. I don't know. Some people may see them that way. With Steve, I always just felt him. I knew he was there right away. I would lay down in bed and I could feel him curl up behind me. Or I looked at a picture, laying there in bed, I looked at a picture of him and I, one of our wedding pictures. And that wedding, I'd never seen it. I don't remember ever seeing that picture. And somehow I pulled it up. I think he had it. It was one of his. And I pulled it up and I looked at it and he was right here. It was kind of a dark photo. And my face was the main face in the camera, and he was right behind me. And I heard him say, "I'm still right there." And so it was the beginning of just this beautiful, continuing relationship. Wendy, I hear spirit and always have. That's beautiful. So back to our costumes that we wear. I'm not seeing a lot of results on that, so... how do you like to put yourself out there? What makes you feel more confident? What makes you feel more able to present yourself? And are you aware of, I'm listening for the message here, so give me a second. Sometimes I get talking and I forget to listen. Are you aware of how beautiful you are you aware of how beautiful you are under that skin, inside of you? This light being that you are, this incredible, absolute, there's nothing like it. If you could actually see yourself, you'd be blinded by how beautiful you are, how incredible, it's like the sunshine. It's like the sunshine shining inside of you, and your physical eyes couldn't handle how beautiful you are. Thank you for that. I'm just bathing in it. Just hold on. I would love for each one of you, I put in a request before I started, for anyone that watches this or anyone that watches this in the future, I would love for you to feel that presence in your life, that I gave him permission, if you would like to receive. He's done this before, to make himself known to anyone who is willing to receive. So if you feel as if you'd like to feel that presence, then please just say, yes, I'd like to feel that. It's completely safe. He's pure source energy. So if you'd like that, hi Terry, thank you for popping in. If you would like to experience that love, and you can call on that love in any way that you choose. It's source energy, it's God, it's Jesus, it's Buddha. Sometimes we like to call in universal oneness. We like to call in our angels, our archangels, whoever you'd like. That sense of source energy is really very much the same, even though each soul has their own energetic footprint. Thank you. Each one, okay, he's correcting me. Each soul, okay, I get it. I tried to compare him to everyone else, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Yes, Steve, you are very different from everyone else. This is so funny this morning. He's just absolutely giddy. So, if you would like to experience that, I am more than willing to share that beautiful energy. I'm listening for him. Each soul has an energetic footprint that's completely unique. We are each a piece of source energy. We're each a chip off the old block. We're each a piece of God. And yet, each one of us has our own energy. Each one of us is totally unique, our own footprint, like snowflakes. If you ever look at snowflakes, you can't ever find two that are exactly the same. Each one is absolutely perfect, beautiful, amazing, incredible, and each one has its own pattern. Each one has its own energy. Hi, Abolida. Thank you for popping in. And yet another thing when you feel it, let's see. We could not afford costumes either growing up. Exactly, Julie, and that's okay because we just had to get creative. What do you see yourself as now? Steve sees himself as Batman still. I can guarantee you that. I'm his Catwoman. That'll never go away. Yes, I'll be Catwoman today. What are you? What kind of superhero are you today? Can you imagine yourself totally incredible, flying through the sky, creating magic everywhere you go? I warned you guys that came in early that I had no idea which direction this was going to go because I really my ears are full of energy that is not my own. And it's just coming through in bits and pieces. And sometimes it comes through in chunks. Breathe that in. I hope that you'll feel that energy today. I don't even hear words. You just kind of filled my heart with love. So I was just sitting in it for a second. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get easily distracted. It's a beautiful sense of the truth of who we are. That's what he gives me. That's what transformed me. My daughter and I were talking yesterday about her boyfriend and how she feels as if sometimes she needs him to tell her, to give her little things about how beautiful she is or things like that. Terry, let me hear that. Confirmation for me in the title of my new book, My Soul's Footprint. The angels showed me this a couple of months ago, and it is in the works. Thank you, Diane. See, perfect. See? Good job, Steve. Good job. Thank you. He's like patting me on the back. Good job, Diane. You heard me. He's full of it today. So what I was saying was this need that each one of us seem to have to hear from other people. We need to build ourselves up by what other people tell us, what we're given. Oh, you're so beautiful, or you speak so well, or whatever you want to hear. And yet what I came back at her was, I didn't transform until I learned to find my own voice in that. Yes, it's beautiful when someone else comes and tells us those things, but do you speak to yourself in that way? Do you stop and say, look at yourself in the mirror? With her, I was like, how do you talk to your baby sister? Jess is 16 years older than Abigail, and she always has seen this absolutely beautiful creature in Abby, this shining light, and she's so proud of her, and she loves her so much. And I said, how do you speak to Abby? How would you speak to Abby if she came to you? If she thought she was ugly, if she was talking down to herself, how would you speak to her? And then I said, why don't you speak to yourself that way? Why don't you treat yourself the way you treat your baby sister? It's going to make me cry. Why am I so emotional about that right now? Because it's important for somebody here to hear. You are so loved. Why do you talk down to yourself? Why do you give yourself a hard time? Why can't you see how incredible you are? Why can't you give yourself the same love that you give everyone else? Abby, I can't say your name. Can I call you Abby? Abby's a dear name to me. Tell Steve I said hi. You just did. He's right here. He heard you. Chetta, thank you for joining us. So I think he's just advertising himself today. He's going to be very available starting Thursday on these talk shows. 7 o'clock in Enlightened World Living. I feel like I need to give him this voice. I feel like there came a point when he and I had come through so much healing, and that it wasn't easy, and it definitely took time. I'm finally to a place where I can truly handle sharing him and sharing his energy on a regular basis. So, is that Marika? Thank you for joining me. So, we're all about masks and how we're putting ourselves into the world and how we're talking to ourselves today. What is it? What kind of mask are you putting on every day? Are you covering up your authenticity? Are you coming into the world being authentic and showing them your true self? Because that's what we're being called to do now. Our true selves are shining through. The truest part of you is not the part that you put makeup on, that you see in the mirror. The truest part of you is this inner being, this God self, this light that shines inside of you that's absolutely perfect, that's never been damaged. You have a part of you that has never been spoken down to, that has never been hurt in any way. And I remember one of the first things that I had to learn was I don't always have to look to Steve to find my answers. I don't always have to look to him to find that light, the most important thing, because I only wanted him in the beginning. And what I discovered is that, and Paul Wyrostek told me this, and I think in the first healing session, they want you to know that you don't always have to look to Steve, that you can ask your own Holy Spirit higher self. How many of us realize that we have this inner wisdom, this being inside of us that has lived many, many lifetimes, that is wise beyond belief? You will never, ever, you can't even imagine how incredible you are and how much you already know and how capable you are. So, Eric Elliott, thank you for joining us. Patricia, thank you for popping in. Christiane, thank you for joining. This is very nice. This is a great group today. So it's all about that mirror, mirror on the wall. Can you look in that mirror and see the truth of who you are? Can you look in that mirror and know that you don't need that mirror to tell you how beautiful you are? That you are absolutely, unbelievably, unfathomably. Sometimes it comes with really big words and I don't know. One came through last night and I still haven't looked it up. Be easy with me, Steve. I'm not as smart as you. Patricia, exposing our true soul's purpose is a gift for us and others. Exactly. And that's what he's trying to give you, is that if you could see the truth of who you are, you wouldn't try to cover it up, and you wouldn't be afraid of it, and you wouldn't continue to doubt yourself. Like, your abilities are right there. Those of you who think that you don't, that somebody else is just more capable than you. How many times in the past did we look at these psychics and these palm readers and these card readers and we thought, wow, they've really got something, like some kind of magic that we don't have access to? The truth of it is that we all have access, that we're all capable, and that the energy that is flowing to us right now is this brand new, lighter energy of how can I say it? It's like heaven on earth. It's like it's right here. It's right available. And the veil is like not even there anymore. And so what do you want? Who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to bring through? Who can you trust yourself enough to be still and be quiet and really hear, create space for those loved ones? That's what it's all about. It's not that one person is more gifted than the other. It's that one person has worked harder than the other. One person has said, you know what, I need this. I need to hear you. I need to feel you close to me. I need to know that you're okay. That's what it was for me. I just need to know that you're okay so I can move on with my life. And the more I did that, and the more I sat on that bathroom floor, the more spirit came through to me, and not just Steve. I saw angels' faces. I saw Jesus. I don't even know sometimes what I saw, but I would be just sitting there in meditation, and all of a sudden they'd just be there. And it's not because I'm more special than you. It's just because I was desperate. Maybe that's the best way to put it. I was desperate to find it. I needed it. That's what brought me back to life. Abby asked Steve if I can have somebody that I can talk. If I have somebody that I can talk to, I usually talk to Eric. Would you please join us on Thursday? I don't want to turn this whole show into forever after that, because that's the show on Thursday. So If you have someone that you would like to communicate with, I can't guarantee you that that person is going to come through. I'm not that. I'm so open to Steve, and sometimes they come through with Steve. Sometimes he brings them through. I can help you. I can channel that energy. I can allow that energy to go through me to you, Abby, and hopefully you will feel Eric close to you. And if you're already talking to him, you're already hearing him. Well, that just kind of, you're already talking to me, you already hear me. So just listen, okay? Wendy, our mask is our ego and the identity given to us from birth by the world. You're exactly right. We have our, as Cheryl Ann puts it, our skin suits. I've been here many times before. I've been a Native American. I've been a man. I've been so many different lifetimes I've had, and yet this time this is who I am. And this is the skin suit that I chose to put on. And from the time I was born, people told me who I was, and they gave me a social security number, and I have all this information to look up to show that this is who I am, this is my personality. And yet the truth of it is when we get deeply inside of ourselves, we realize that we're just like so much more. You're so much more than you think you are. Let's see, Patricia, I love how peaceful you are. That took a lot of work. That's Steve. That's his energy comes through, and he sits right here, and you'll feel him. Abuelita, you're gonna have to help me with that. I'm doing mediumship classes and light language classes and channeling courses, so my gift can come out. Yeah, just let it. That's all I can tell you is not believe. If you can just allow yourself to sit in the idea that yes, I can communicate with those who have passed. Yes, I can, whatever it is that you're looking to do. Sit in that peace. We can bring you that today, because I feel like there's just this huge sense of peace in this group right now. It's almost like we're going to have nap time this morning. There's a huge sense of peace, and it's rolling through to you. And it's that peace of knowing that you are so much more than you think that you are, and that you have abilities that are completely untapped. No matter how skilled you are, you haven't even scraped the surface yet. I keep getting that from him too. I'm like, wow, my life is just changing and transforming, and it's magic, and I'm so happy, and life is so beautiful, and I'm so gifted with so many precious gifts every single day, and some days it's overwhelming, it's so beautiful. And then he's like, yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet, sister. It's just flowing to us so beautifully. We are not going back to what we were before this virus. We are coming out of this, and we are continuing forth, because it has awakened so many souls. And the more souls awaken to their abilities, to the knowing of who they truly are, the more that awaken, the more the power, the energy of the earth shifts. Can you feel that shift? Do you know that? Hold on. Every tiny ripple that you create keeps rolling out. You reach out and one person says, hey, how are you doing that? Why are you so calm? Why are you so happy? How did you create that energy in your life? Why are you so different than you were 5 years ago? Can you tell me how you did that? And you're like, okay, let me show you what happened in my life. Let me tell you my story. Just tell your stories. That's what I really want this show to be all about, is I want to give a voice to the people who have beautiful, incredible, miraculous stories and don't have a platform to get them out into the world, because every single one of us has a beautiful story. And we each need our stories to be heard, because there might be just one person, one little ripple that's going to hear your story and going to relate to that and say, wow, and it's going to do that wake-up call. They're going to resonate with you. Their hearts are going to wake up. It's not what you say, it's your energy. And you're going to put your face out there, and they're going to say, wow, yeah, I resonate with you. Something's different about you. And it gives I remember the day that I woke up and my life was miserable. And I remember it just suddenly going, wait, there's more to this than what I'm seeing. And it changed everything. Everything shifted in that moment. It's taken a lot of years to get to where I am, and yet somewhere along the way, and I don't even know when it happened, somewhere along the way I passed by the right person. I was in close proximity, or I watched that person or something happen and I can't even pinpoint what it was or who it was. I don't know. I can think of a couple of books, but the moment that I actually first heard my spirit guide speak to me, I don't know what the wake-up call was. And so I want you to be aware of that right now, is that there are people around you all the time. There's a lot in my throat right now. There are people that are around you all the time. You love them, you may not even know them. They may be on social media. You may never meet them face to face. And yet your voice, your story, your face may be what they're waiting for to wake up. You're that important. Your energy, the energy that you put forth into the world, is like a wave. It starts as a tiny ripple and it just keeps going. And man, when all of our energies start flowing, can you imagine the tsunami that washes over the planet? Wow, it's wild this morning. Where's the little girl stuff today? Are we going to play today? Wendy, some of them who have passed in confusion are coming to us at this time and just looking for reassurance. That's true too. That's true too. Ooh, thunder. Did you hear it? I love a thunderstorm. You see. Yeah, I've had that happen ever since really the past few years. Sometimes it happened to me again the other day when I was standing out at the Oval Cabin. I love the Oval Cabin. I put some of Steve's ashes, and we walked back there. It was getting dark, and we walked back and sat. Jim went with me. We actually walked right to where I left his ashes, because we're thinking about even a scoop of dirt or something. His ashes aren't there anymore, but we thought about just bringing some of the dirt from that area back here and putting under the tree. But as I walked back out, it was getting dark, and he was carrying a big rock for me, because I took a big rock from the water to bring over to the tree. And so he went away from me, and I stood there looking at the cabin. And all of a sudden, this wave of energy hit me. It was like, boom. Oh, I didn't like that wave of energy. It wasn't comfortable. And I had to start asking, don't come home with me. You stay here. I'll come visit again sometime. But I don't know how many of you are feeling that. And then I continue to ask for Archangel Michael to come in and help this spirit in crossing over, because you're correct that there's a waking up on the planet of not only those who are here still in physical form, but earthbound souls that are ready to cross over. They're also getting that wake up call. It's time. It's time to come back up. It's time to step out of fear. It's time to let yourself cross. It's time to move forward. So I don't know how many of you are feeling that, but I have been feeling a lot of energies around me. And it's our job to help them as much as we can, I think. That's why they're drawn to us. Wendy, when the student is ready, the master will appear. Exactly. And that master comes in many forms. It may be a little child. Remember, your greatest teachers are sometimes those people that are the ones that aren't necessarily the nicest to us, or they might come in animal form. They might come in the form of a child. So be aware that our teachers come in every which way. And you'll know them too by their triggers. Your triggers. If someone is in your life and you're getting triggered, boom, 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 that's a teacher. They're teaching you. They're helping you to get those things up and out. So don't always look for those Zen masters. Allow those that are in your life. If they're triggering you, there's a reason. And if you are so triggered by them that you're like, well, I got to get you out of my life because I don't want to deal with that anymore, guess what? Somebody else will come in and start triggering you the same way. You might as well just deal with it. We're being called right now to really allow those triggers and allow those teachers to teach. Let's see. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for popping in. We're just talking today. What time is it? We got a little bit of time. We will do a little playtime meditation here in a few minutes, I promise. We're going to do that too. I'm enjoying this conversation. I hope that you are too. Marika, let me know if I say your name wrong. Everything and everyone here in the galaxies. Yeah, there's so much out there that we don't know about. We can spend so much time going, I believe in this and I don't believe in that. And I'm definitely not an alien and I don't believe in aliens and I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that. And isn't it so much more fun when you just go, I don't know everything. Maybe it's possible. Maybe I am an alien. I'm quite sure that I am. But maybe I really do have a dragon. Maybe those really are fairies out there. oh, maybe I could have a pet Pegasus and fly in her back in the sky, There comes the inner child. It's all about letting go of unbelief, letting yourself just go into that place. That's your powerhouse. That child is so strong. That child is so creative. We talked about that last night. I remember it coming up in the intentions group about, someone said I was just imagining something. I'm like, oh, don't discredit your imagination. Your imagination is like this powerhouse place. That's where your child sits, and she colors, and he could be a male. But that little person inside of you is doodling and writing and creating and journaling all the time. And that one is so creative and so alive. And the more alive you make that little child, you allow that little child. Make is not a good word. The more you feed that little child, the more you let her or him come to the forefront, the more powerful your abilities are going to be. It's the truth. It is absolutely the truth. If you don't know that yet, let me show you. I'm telling you right now that there's no more powerful creatures on the planet than a newborn baby. They have it figured out, and you can see it in their eyes as they're looking up over the bed at little flying creatures above them. You know they're seeing something that you can't see. You only have lost the ability to see those angels and those loved ones because someone has taught you not to believe in that, or to stop daydreaming, or to spend more time in reality, getting a job, working, paying your bills. So guess what? We're being pushed into a time where the, all that stuff has become easier. It's lightened, the load is lightened. The bills are still there, and somehow it's just easier to make it all happen than it ever used to be because we're moving into this new energy of the little child, the creator again. Go back to being your inner creator. Let's see. Wendy, that is the feeling. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm sure I said something that goes to. Patricia, thank you for hopping in. My little girl is always at the ready. Get her going. Let's get those little kids going here in just a minute. We'll see if we can't create something beautiful. Let's see. In one of my other lives, I used to be a death doula. I think that's one of the most, it's something that I've thought about doing myself because I needed one. When Steve was dying, I really needed someone. The nurse that was there with me was not so good at what she was doing, and I really could have used someone to support me through that. I was completely alone in it, and I got through it really well, but afterwards I crashed and burned. So I could have used that, and so now I'm like I have great respect for people who are there in the dying process with people. It's a very important job and a beautiful job. It's a sacred experience being with someone that's dying. I didn't know how it was going to feel, and I will tell you that what it feels like is childbirth. It feels as if you're just helping someone to go back into another form. It's a birthing process. Letting go of the physical, moving back into the truth of who you are. And as Steve has made it quite clear to me, I have like a little ant or something. I felt it. There's these little ants. They just wander around the house aimlessly. Oh, they need to find a job or something. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. Where was I? Steve. Oh, what he's been drumming into me is that we do not go back. And he reminded me that as I just said that we do not go back to exactly who we were before we came here. He's like, no way, sister. I did too much work. I went through too much while I was there to go back to just return to who I was before. You are continuously growing. The soul is continuously evolving through every lifetime. It continues to evolve. We never just go back to what we used to be. We continue to expand. Isn't that amazing that you're on this earth and you think you're this little person and you're just going through this little thing and oh man, I got to do that again. I got to take out the trash or clean the toilet or whatever. Your soul is in there working at all times 24/7. Your soul is growing. Your soul is expanding. You will never go back to what you used to be. You will continue to get greater and greater and greater and greater and greater. And there's no end to that. It's infinity. There's no end. Marika was an alien too. Weren't we all? I think we all were aliens. We were all sent to the earth. Many of us have lived in other planets. We've lived in other galaxies. Sometimes I open light channels at the cemetery for them to leave to the light. It's awesome to see. That's incredible. Doesn't it feel good? I did it the first time and I didn't even know what I was doing, but wow, what a change when you feel that soul lift away. A soul that there was a little girl in a house that Steve and I lived in that was there the whole time we were living there. And I remember one night I was like, well, let me see if I can do something here. And I started talking to her. And all of a sudden I got really, really cold. And it felt really strange. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I started to hear her story. And she's still waiting for her sister. She died suddenly. And she was still waiting for her sister so they could go back home. And so she'd stayed there in the house. And I remember I'm like, okay. And then, excuse me. And then I made sure to tell her that her sister was already gone, that it was okay. Her sister went on ahead of her, and it was okay for her to go to the light, to go ahead and cross over. And I had no idea what I was doing, but all I know was suddenly the heat came back to the room, and there was this sense of light in that room that had never been there. We'd lived there for 4 years, and it was a good 3 years before I even attempted to help her. I'd heard her knocking on the wall every morning the same time. Boom, she'd knock on my bedroom wall. She talked to us one morning. Steve slept on the other side of the bed over by her wall because his shoulder was hurting. And he got up out of bed and he went walking. And all of a sudden, the both of us heard, "Where's Mama?" And we both went, "Oh, what was that?" What was that? I guess I had become her mama and she was looking for me. So these experiences are so incredible. And it's part of, I keep going back into this stuff because Thursday night, please join me at 7 o'clock on Enlightened World Living. Because so many of us have had these beautiful experiences and we have these beautiful stories. And I hope that we can sit there and share them together. Wendy, we're all just energy changing form, like in quantum physics. We evolve continually, but our essence remains exactly. And our personality remains, really. We think that we just go back to it, but Steve has made that clear. He's made me laugh, even though he's become a part of the soup. Abraham Hicks calls it. He is still. We don't lose that part of us. We continue. A part of us, that personality that we created here, will remain with those that we love. So you can still talk to them the way that you've talked to them before. They're still like that. They still hold that personality. He's hilarious. He always was. The veil is thin when we enter the physical plane, and again when we are leaving, as if we leave naturally, not too suddenly. Exactly. He told me that it was very clear. He said, death is easy. It's like stepping into the next room. Doesn't that make it easier? It's like he was so afraid of dying. That was his biggest fear. And it wasn't scary. He just said, I stepped into the next room. Wendy, don't ever shut up. I love your comments. Patricia, I was with my mom when she died, and it was magnificent. So true about birthing her into the afterlife, hasn't it? It's such a beautiful experience. It's painful. Although I have to say, I didn't want him to leave. I really didn't want to let him go. And yet, those last couple of hours that I was with him, time just melted away. It was as if we were the only two people in the room. And I was not afraid. And I don't feel like he was afraid either. I feel like my job was to be there for him, to comfort him. That was my job. I could not heal this man. I could only be there to help him to cross over. And that was what we had agreed on. And so somehow it all just went away. All of the fear. All of that clinging to life. All of that trying so hard to hold on to him. I wanted so much to take him to Indianapolis. I wanted so much to keep him with me. I was begging. I was on my knees. Just please let me work through me. Heal this man. And then in the last few hours that he was on this earth, all of that went away. All that desperation just melted, and I wasn't desperate anymore. I fell into the role that I was called to do, and my only job was to be beside him. We were in our own home, in our own bed, and I climbed up beside him, and I just snuggled my face into his neck, and I just continued to tell him that it was okay. We were going to be okay. It was okay to let go. And it was absolutely one of the most sacred experiences I can ever imagine having. So work I'm doing death, liner, and future life. People aren't stressed about it, but they come to me, make it highest possible experience. Yeah. My 4-year grandmother is asking me for oracle cards and crystals. Does she want you to go into that? Steve communicated. I didn't understand oracle cards. I was drawn to a deck, and I realized pretty quickly that he was communicating to me through those cards. So sometimes they do pull us to that thing that will help them to communicate. That in my, I can show you now if I can find it. I have, anytime I hold up a pendulum, I will say, I can ask it yes and no questions. It gives me a yes and no. If I say, Steve, are you here with me? It always circles counterclockwise, and that's the only time that it does it. And it's done it since I first started picking up that pendulum after he passed. He always let me know, yes, I'm here. Wendy, I had euphoria when my grandmother passed. It was her, you were feeling hers. Yes, she was feeling. Isn't that beautiful that you got to feel how beautiful, how euphoric she felt in stepping out of the body? Every lifetime is another step in soul evolution. Perfect. Exactly. That's Wendy. Abulida. I will love for you to teach me how to do that. Oh, she's talking to you, Marika. So reach out. I have somebody that comes to me and speaks to me in Spanish and tells me stuff, and she's a female. If you speak Spanish, that's a whole other conversation. That's a big one. Wendy. Was that 7 p.m.? Yes, it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll be on Enlightened World Network. Enlightened World Living, sorry, which is a part of Enlightened World Network. 3:15 here now, and it is what? 10:15 here. So you're 5 hours different. So it'll be on at what, midnight? It's late, sorry. 7, 9, 10. Yeah, midnight for you. Patricia, we are one spirit, exactly. We're all very, very connected, aren't we? And so when we sit here and we doubt our abilities and we think we can't do anything, it's like, but you're connected. You're literally have a golden cord. You literally are so connected. We're all so connected because we all come from the same source. So of course, if somebody has, look at that wild hair. I'm going to go get a haircut. If one person has an ability, you can have that ability too. I do buy into that whole universal oneness idea of that we are all very, very connected. Universal knowledge. If one person can play the piano, so can I. I haven't tapped into it that well yet, but I know that it's something that we're coming into. The ability to be so connected as we open to it. I don't want to go too deeply into that right now either. This gets really deep. So Abulita was there with your mom when she died, but you were ready to give her up. It's easier when you feel like they're ready, isn't it? Abdul from Arab. Very nice. Thank you for joining us. Marika, I had a close death experience. It's beautiful. Met God and he sent me back. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, let's see. What do we got going on? Yeah, I think so, Wendy. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a meditation. We're running out of time. We've only got 10 minutes. I told you all to come here. I told you all what mask are you wearing today? So I want you to come to the circle as a little child for just a few minutes. Bring your child in. Let go of all your worries. Let's do dress up time. We love dress up time here. So we're going to be in a room together. It's a playroom. And there is a trunk of clothes, a trunk of costumes. And I'd like you to go ahead and gather together and choose a costume for yourself. Anything that feels right to you today. What would you like to be for just a few minutes? And put on as many layers as you'd like. We're all many, many layers of personalities, of experiences, every one of us. And so when we go into these clearings, the truth of it is that we have so many layers. And the more layers we're willing to shed, the deeper we go, the more we learn about the truth of who we are. So I would very much like you to, hold on one second. I would very much like you to breathe deeply as you're picking up the little outfits. And I see some little sunflower crowns. And I see some little princess outfits. And I see superhero outfits. Cleopatra, Patricia is going to be Cleopatra. Very good. Cleopatra's amazing, isn't she? And beautiful. Midnight. Wendy, can you manage? Midnight's late. I tried to do it earlier. the show earlier because I'm not very good at keeping my brain awake. Go ahead and breathe. Let's see if we can get some energy flowing to you right now. So we're going to call in our team. Steve is still here. I would like you to go ahead and call in whoever you would like, as long as that either someone who's passed over, you can call in your angels, you can call in your guides, but they need to be here for the highest of good of all who are involved. So we only want positive energy. We want to feel as if we are accepted, as if we are incredibly amazing little beings of light. And let's allow them. I feel them joining us here in this circle. And you're all dressed up. Have a seat. Whoever you brought in with you can sit down beside you, hang out behind you, whatever you feel. Wendy, enjoy that hairdresser. I'm going to do the same thing. Do you feel the presence of your loved ones? Hi, Grandma. You're always welcome here. I would like you to just sit in this. We don't have a lot of time, but sit in this energy and know that these are your loved ones, that they bring an energy into your life, that they will help you when you ask for help. They would love to help you, and they would love for you to know that they're there. Candy. I don't know who Candy is, but I just heard that. Stella. There's a beautiful energy. You can claim those people if you'd like. If not, they're here anyway. They've decided to join me. I have a Stella back in my historical genes, so she might be mine. I wanted to say Stella Jane, and I'm pretty sure I have a Stella Jane. So let's all sit here together. Let's have some tea in your cute little costumes. Enjoy tea time with your loved ones for just a few minutes, and I'd like you to breathe as you're sitting there in that sweet little space with your loved ones, enjoying their presence. I would like you to breathe beautiful healing energy into your bodies right now. It's just filling up the room, coming from the base of your spine all the way up. So breathe deeply and hold it in your lungs. A little bit more. Push it back. Up into the throat. There's a lot of energy in the throat right now. It's incredibly powerful. If you're feeling the need to open up your throat chakra, now's a good time. We're trying to give you your voice, allow you to come through, allow your truth to shine right out of you in whatever way is best for you, whatever way you would like to receive. And I'm holding that energy, so continue to breathe. There's a lot of energy in the heart space, in the throat, it's in the third eye. There's a lot of healing, a lot of opening energy, opening to your truth. Energy in the top of my head, it's almost a pain. Let it go, release. If you are willing to let go of those things that no longer serve you, you just let your arms fall down, let your hands open up. Allow yourself to let go. Healing energy to your cells, healing energy to each one of your organs, to your bones, to your bone marrow, to your ligaments and your spine and your foot, Geraldine, healing to your foot. And opening to those questions that you have, and opening and answers, more clarity. And if you have loved ones that you'd like to pull into the circle that are not feeling so well, that are depressed, that are hurting, that are sick, whatever way you'd like to pull them in, put them right in the middle of the circle. Visualize them there right now. And there's a ray of light coming down through the sky, and it's like the sun. And it's breaking off into a million rays, and it's shining down on all of those that we've pulled into the circle. And let's spread that even bigger. Let's make it huge all the way around the planet to those in need, to those who are hungry or hurting or sad or sick, to those who are going through losses, to the planet itself, to all of these parts of this planet that need healing. We flow through to go out to wherever it's needed at this time. The energy is super strong, hard to breathe through. If somebody's holding something on their chest, you may let it go. It's okay. If it's not serving you, you can let it go. Breathe in. Let it pull that healing energy into your chest right now. Better. Better. Okay, breathe it in from your feet all the way up. Earth energy coming up right now. Earth is so thankful to you for spreading healing to her. And she's giving you back. She's gifting you with earth energy that's pure and beautiful. And you're like a tree, and you're just sprouting fruit everywhere. And your fruit is being picked by those around the planet that need it, wherever that is. And your cute little selves, you may get up, you may allow your Holy Spirit higher self to be back in that body. Those cute little children, they're all costumed up for the day, and they're ready to go out and play. Whatever kind of costumes that you put on, they are happy, they are joyful, they are doing a little hula dance. I see them with their hula hoops dancing and playing today. Allow yourself to be that child today. Allow yourself to feel that freedom, that joy. Lay down those burdens. You don't need to carry them anymore. Be happy. Just play. Just play. You are meant to be happy. You are meant to have playful experiences on this planet. This is a one big, huge, giant playground. Enjoy yourself and spread that sunshine everywhere you go today. I love you guys so much. I did too, Wendy. Thank you. I was getting a little over the top. Thank you for helping me out. Stella is your granddaughter's name. She's 4. I heard her. I'm going to be... Abulita is a fairy. Very good. Marika is a troll. They are hilarious. You guys, remember those little costumes that you put on today. Enjoy yourself as children. Take really good care of yourselves. I think I'm just about out of time. If there's anything else that you've got to share with me, I would like you for just 1 second to make sure that you are safely. We're asking Archangel Michael to wrap us all up in safety and protection today as we go out and shine our lights, that we are safe, that we are protected, and that we have nothing to fear. And I would like you to say this, and so it is done, and so it is done, and so it is done. You're powerful. You are creating. You have created a new magic in your world today. Go out and enjoy that magic. I love you so much. Marika, I called God. I do trust my ancestors. Very good. Very good. Love you, Marika. You're so welcome, Julie Kiss. Thank you guys for joining me again today. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Take good care of yourselves. And so it is done, Patricia. You are so welcome. Bye now.